On this episode, we're going to talk about audio and what it means for social media.
With so many different platforms,
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter,
and their purposes evolving daily, navigating social media can be, well, complicated. Welcome to the Social Media Sucks podcast from Cupco,
Social media.
where we unpack the latest trends and help remove the suck from social media.
Welcome back to the Social Media Sucks podcast, you guys. You're tuning in for dose of marketing and to get what's happening in the ever-changing social media landscape. And the two constants I have with me today is Chris Cobbeners, our CEO. Say hi.
Hi.
And then we have our lead strategist, Andy Damian.
Hi.
That's a very timid hi. Hi. This is about audio. Hi.
Yeah.
How you doing out there?
Maybe it should be an audio only
in
episode.
radio
Yes.
land. Should
Actually,
this
that
be
would be
in
cool.
Audio
Make
only?
it audio
I
only.
think Artie would be like, "What the hell am I doing here now?"
And just everything should be black when we edit on YouTube. Just like,
yeah,
Super low exposure.
yeah.
audio on social media. Let's get into it, guys.
Yes, let's get into it. So, what players do you see that's most promising in this social media audio landscape? Like when we talk, maybe we should just set the context a little bit, because I think when we talk about audio in social media, that can include, music in TikTok, Instagram, and all these integrated kind of music pieces, right? And then of course there is audio apps, Clubhouse, that's more or less not relevant anymore, but all these kind of audio generated apps, that's also a platform actually. Yeah.
Right.
So that's the context, and then what players do you see it's leading in that field?
Should we start with the music discussion then?
Yeah.
Sure.
TikTok and music.
Sure.
Why not? Yeah. Let's
Chris
talk
is
about
like,
music.
Where am I?
Yeah, but I mean, like, music is so cultural. I mean, like,
Yeah.
we just, like, how does it not be a part of...
But it hasn't always been, right?
No,
That's
it hasn't
the
always
thing.
been a part of social media. I mean,
Now it feels natural.
I actually think that, well, of course, like, musically was probably one of the biggest, like, to start off, and was, like, all about sort of music.
Audio,
It was,
yeah.
it was all about audio. It was all about, but it was about lip syncing to it. So it wasn't just straight audio. And then you could say the original audio social media is maybe podcasting, but it's not really a social media as it is just a media.
Clubhouse was, I think,
and
the
then
first.
Clubhouse
really-
was the sort of,
Modern
yeah, but
combination.
it was
of-
also Anchor before, which is also on the podcast side, but
That's
a little
true.
bit more social because it was tied to Twitter a bit. And there was Whale, which was also like a pretty big one.
Never heard about it.
No, and then there was just a bunch,
different
like,
generation.
no, I mean, yeah, exactly. But it's, the point is that there's been so many that have come and gone. Like,
Yeah.
it's sort of, and I really think that it's because we're very visual, and social media is visual, and we're walking around with this thing, and this thing is very much, the phone, is for those of you who are just listening, is very much like a visual thing. Like, we keep upping the quality of the screen, and we keep upping the pixels, and we keep upping the size of the screen, and everything that has to do with, we keep upping the camera, because we are a visual, they don't talk
Beings.
about, it's
Yeah.
got the best microphone now. They don't, like, every time a new phone comes out, what's the main thing that they talk about?
Camera.
Camera. So they don't talk about the audio, right? Even though AirPods is the biggest selling, thing ever for, well, not the biggest thing ever for Apple, but very close. But I do think that, I mean, we're visual people, so
think-
like, it's not really a thing for me.
Okay, but do you guys use any audio apps? Like, of course we do podcast. I mean, Spotify
No, but
but not anything social, right? Like
I've jumped in a couple Twitter Spaces.
But I mean, do you guys see any potential industries or brands that could really benefit from this combination of audio and visual?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, when you have the audio, you can always build context much faster. And I think what's great to see so far with TikTok is that I think social media was for many years, it was like optimized for sound off.
Yeah.
And with TikTok, that completely flipped.
Yeah.
And now with Reels, I think we're just going into a audio on direction. But it's also very interesting, I think, that I quite often find myself consuming TikTok with like no audio.
Really?
Yeah, I just rely on. I just started relying on subtitles because all the videos are actually subtitled now.
Yeah.
And I think it's like social media is becoming to be more and more focused on inclusivity. Like everyone should be able to access the content. Like if you lost your sight, you should be able to listen to it. If you don't have your hearing, you should be able to read it. And I think that's kind of interesting. But then you just
kind of miss some of the context, right? Because
yeah.
if a sound is really trend based or is a really recognizable sound, then you might not know, even though you of course read the caption, but it won't subtitle a song.
Yeah. And then I think there is also something very interesting into like how different sounds can go viral. It's very interesting to me, at least, that the stuff that goes viral on TikTok goes viral on Reels as well.
It's all rooted in a song.
Yeah.
Or like in a sound.
Yeah.
In a sound file.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very interesting. That is the jumping off point for everything virality wise, right? It's also where we focus on for brand campaigns, like what is the song? Do we do an original song? And I think that it's interesting that that's the jumping off point for all brands right now. Like when it comes to jumping on a trend, is can you jump on a sound and make that part of your thing, and can you put it into your context for your brand, which is super interesting actually. That it starts at audio, it doesn't start at visual.
It's also like, especially on YouTube where you have the sound on, I think it's very interesting to me, at least, how much the ads and commercials stand out from the noise that use good music, even though if it's not like original music. Maybe it's a song I really like, or maybe it's something that has like some sort of like cultural meaning. I would like pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Like then there was that I think there was that Lunar commercial, with the French song in it. I think wasn't it a French song? And I was like, I was just in the shower and I started like just hearing this song, and I was like, what's that? And I actually legit like reached over and like took a look, like what is this?
Yeah, I think there's a huge potential for like the music industry, right, to capitalize on this kind of audio first within some kind of social media.
I mean, Drake, we even covered this a couple of years ago, I think, in the podcast. Like Drake basically built some of his hit songs around making it viral on a TikTok first, right? So it's like he's gonna make.
You see that more and more.
Yeah, you see them like focusing on that.
Yeah,
right?
Still artists just like, especially gives a fighting chance for a lot of new upcoming artists, right? Like they don't have to spend a lot of money on advertising themselves. They can put it on TikTok and get that reach.
I think actually it would be very interesting to see if LinkedIn could implement like a voice feature.
LinkedIn,
because I think when it comes to subject matter experts and sharing expertise, I think audio can work really well.
Yeah. That's why I listen to podcasts often, right? Like you get that inspiration or educated.
Yeah. And also short form podcasts are also sort of starting to gain momentum, I think.
But in terms of social media, like focusing on audio, I think brands there's still opportunities in podcasting for brands, but I think they need to look at it in a bigger context of like, how do they take the other things they're doing and like sort of combine it to be something like an audio show. And then I think they have to think way more outside in, like what do people actually want to listen to versus, hey, we're going to talk about this today. And it's like, nobody cares about it. So I think that's still an opportunity. And then I think Twitter Spaces is still an opportunity from let's do a discussion with a person, a KOL, an influencer, and sort of get people in that way. So do an interview type of a show. Like if you're a beauty brand, go interview a beauty specialist or a makeup artist. Or if you're a sneaker brand, go talk to a sneakerhead and get their opinions on what are the most famous designs of all time. And then, those sort of things, I think they can incorporate into their general flow so that it's not all the same content, and people can decide what they want to do. Do they want to be an audio person? Do they want to be a visual person? Do they want to be more meme-based content? Do they like more YouTube-style shows? So it's really about just experimenting and seeing, what works for you.
I think what would be very intriguing is trying to see if there would be a format that is live, and it can be, just live audio, like Clubhouse was, maybe implemented into Twitter or something like that.
Twitter Spaces.
But then you could do the live. That's existing.
Yeah.
Seemed like a very brilliant idea
But
for a
how-
while.
But it's also Twitter Spaces allows you to listen to it afterwards as well, which is
Yeah.
better, like the on-demand thing.
But the funny thing is, like, both Facebook, like Messenger, Instagram, they all have this feature where you can record and send a message. I'm just wondering how many people actually use those kind of features, because they could be.
I am sometimes like, I have friends who use it, and I'm like, I don't want to reply to this. I'm like,
Yeah, I have a
It's
friend who
like-
says that too.
yeah, for me, it's almost like, that same feeling when someone calls you on the phone. It's like, ooh, no.
It's too
no,
personal.
please, no.
It's
Yeah.
too personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have that sometimes. I think
Really? Okay.
I need to work
Strange.
on.
I don't
need
know.
to
I
work
think
on
it's
this.
a cultural
Yeah.
thing. I don't know. Well, anyways, but do you guys think how can brands create what should they do? You have any advice for brands who want to capitalize on this kind of audio feature integrated with social media apps?
Yeah, I think they need to think of as audio as memes, and like how can we make those audio memes a part of our brand on Reels or on TikTok. So that's one avenue. The other is how can we create our own original sounds that do write quite well. ELF made their own song, like Eyes, Lips, Face made their own song that's actually went viral, and then they were able to sell that song afterwards, like on Spotify, and that got tons of things. I think audio playlists are still a big thing for brands, like on Spotify, creating stuff that's like, the McDonald's, like eating a McChicken, sort of listen to this when you're eating a McChicken playlist or whatever those things are. I think there's so many ways that you can play into people's daily activities and what they do, and make your brand sort of relevant in those times. There's still like there's like Nike playlists on Apple still. Like if you're working out, here's this playlist. If you're doing so I think there's ways that you can be a part of your consumers' lives on the audio side that are just, still untapped for many brands, right? And I still think it's open territory for that. And then I do think, using Twitter Spaces or even still using Clubhouse. But what I would do if you're a brand that wants to be on Clubhouse is maybe buy a Clubhouse that's already been built for that particular niche audience. So if you want to, don't go starting from scratch, but if there's somebody's got an audience of 1 million people or 500,000 people or 250,000 in real estate, if you're if you're like Zillow or if you're like somebody like that, that's a good property to purchase. That's a good community to purchase. Those things don't really exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. Like you can go and buy a Clubhouse. So yeah, I would look at those things. You could buy it. You could also sponsor podcasts still. I think there's still a ton of untapped territory in terms of sponsoring podcasts on the audio side.
I agree.
There's like almost nobody does it, and the tools are out there to do it at scale as well. So I think, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
But brands just don't do it.
Anything you want to add?
No, Chris
Said
really,
it all.
Yeah,
he
you
has
said
a
it
lot
all.
come to us and we can give you, we can develop more. I mean, so thank you guys for sharing. Let me do a quick recap on this audio side of social media. I think Chris uncovered a lot of good points here at the end.
Thanks.
So just skip the start. Well, anyway.
Now that you're here.
Now that you're here.
Just skip the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Just erase the front part of your.
Yeah. But I mean, we just
podcast.
touched upon like there's still a lot of huge potential in these audio-based apps. Like it really combines the visual and the audio, and it creates a better context and stimuli for consumers and audience using these social apps. And we think there's a lot of brands that still haven't touched upon this audio space within, sponsoring podcasts, creating kind of a space tapping into your consumers' everyday life activities by through audio. So there is a lot of uncovered territory that you should definitely go explore. Ask for advice. Ask for your agency for advice. Or Chris.
Just come to me.
Yeah, just come to Chris.
Cubco.com. Just email me. I'll help you.
Yes.
Premium audio consultant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here you have it. Thanks for tuning in, and subscribe. Leave your feedback with us, your likes, dislikes, your comments, and get a chance to win $100 gift card to Amazon.
$100?
We will
Big
find
Damn.
the winner very soon.
Many
For
winners.
these.
I've got 30
Hope it's me.
winners. It's going to be 30
We have
winners.
a lot of people in the bank there. So
Yep.
thank you guys for listening and tune in for the next one.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
See you
guys. See you.
This has been the Social Media Sucks Podcast.